It's a fucking Mack truck right up your butthole.
Yeah.
That's a lot of truck to put in your
To
butthole, man. She's purring. She wants to lick you with the barbed tongue, but you won't let her because it hurts.
because it's
So
a
you're just
barbed
gonna.
tongue. We're also fucking around most of the time, but when it comes to the news portion pieces of this is actually research. This is stuff that's actually out there. So believe it, don't believe it, read it, make your own decision. That's what we
Yep.
want. That's
Yep.
all we want. But you need to be aware of this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Bam. Hey, we decided that your Asian benefactor was trying to get you to go into porn.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
We can still go that route. It's fine. We can set up a site for you. We got you. We'll get you in the AVN next year.
Yep.
There might be some stuff you're uncomfortable with, but we'll ease you in slowly.
I would dress up as one of the tunnels because I want people inside of me.
You're about to listen to Whiskey Hell Podcast, a show centered on recent news, excellent craft beer, and absolute debauchery. While the guys are getting ready, you can reach them on Twitter at whiskey_hell. You can also go to the whiskeyhellpod.com or email them at whiskeyhellpod@gmail.com. At the end, be sure to drop them a review as a thank you for the content. Looks like they're ready. Enjoy the show. And listener discretion is advised.
It's Saturday night, April 8th, 7:23. We are Whiskey Hell, and this is your news. How's it going, Fitz?
Going all right, my friend. Going all right. I woke up this morning and that's a good day when that happens. That's a real good day. So
It really
so here we
is.
are. So here we are, I woke up. I was actually more productive today than I had planned on being, which is, kind of a nice surprise. But all day I'm just thinking about stuff for the show and stuff we're going to be talking about. And, once again, I promise I won't say this every week, but I am just blown away by all of the interaction we've been getting on Twitter from people, not just taking the time to listen to us and listen to the show, but then taking time to go onto Twitter and give us some props. And we can't thank you enough. I know we've got some official housekeeping to get to, but that just blew me away this week. So it just motivates us to want to be a better show every week anyway. So good stuff.
No, it totally did. And one of the things I think even popped out today, Nomads of Fantasy reached out and did actually a little homework for us. Figuring out what the GDP was for Russia versus Florida, which was an angle that I hadn't looked at or I hadn't even thought about. So I really appreciate them saying that. And we'll get into this a little bit more later and what the BRICS, Team BRIC, can we call them that? The BRIC Alliance.
I like. Well, you got to have the S in there because South Africa was one of the founding members. So I mean, I like Team BRICS or like I don't know. She's built like a bricks house. Something I don't know.
They're a bricks house.
Bricks house. Bricks
God.
house. We need to. Yeah, we're gonna have to update that song, I think.
Well, yeah, like you were saying though, I echo those sentiments because it is pretty awesome. Lots of folks reaching out this week. Drunk with Buds podcast, Brett James, Honest Conflict podcast, just a ton. Barcelona Red week to week. He's always chiming in on stuff.
Yep.
Smart dude, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. Porn stash. They always chime in here and there too.
Absolutely.
I've had some good back and forths with. I had to say it. He's been out there really posting some great stuff this week that I felt like I needed to comment on because he's with it. He gets it. He's thinking, and he understands kind of the bigger picture stuff. So anyway, I just the Twitter interactions have been awesome, and we have a lot to talk about with Twitter and this week. Twitter, Matt Taibbi, Substack. There's a weird thing going on there, and I don't know what to make of it. Heads or tails. So we'll get to that. Lots of stuff this week. Lots of stuff. Damn.
Yep. It's a big doc, but we got to do first things first. What are you drinking?
Oh yeah. Well, as promised. Shit, I didn't even open my beer yet. You caught me with my my pants are up, but things are.
But your beer was down.
My beer's down. So as promised, I am doing the second volume of the Life series from Breakside. And you know what's a little depressing to me is that last week when I announced that I was doing another series here, you went on the website and it looks like there's 4 beers in this series and I only have 3 of them. And that to me is upsetting.
Well,
and I'm
okay.
not I have a couple weeks. I'm going to track down the 4th one. I'm just saying it sucks that I only have 3 of them.
Huh.
So
I give Breakside a call and see what's going on. See where you
look at that.
Oh, it's 1 through 6.
Oh, see, okay. Now I'm really pissed. I have half of them.
It sounds like you need to go kick somebody's ass.
Fuck.
I wonder if it's not even out yet though. Because I know sometimes when these big series or these big volume type efforts, they sometimes will release a few one month and then a few the next month.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Okay. I'm literally going to just take a chill pill right now. I'm going to wait before I freak out. I do have a tendency sometimes to overreact. I know that's shocking to you. Okay. So I'm going to give this thing a day in court here. So just to quickly review, last week's was caramely, nutty, a little bit of the, rum-soaked raisin flavor notes. And again, this is the same recipe. They're just changing the malts in each of the beers. So another barley wine. Ooh, this one's got more bite. A little more nutty. A little more on the okay, so it says right there plum and prune. I was gonna say a little bit more on the plummy side. There's a plum taste to it. And this one is definitely more can I say dirty? And I don't mean dirty as in like
earthy.
Kinky. Earthy. Earthy is what I mean. Yeah. Yes, more earthy. And there's some cocoa in there. There's some chocolate in there, some chocolate notes, which is unusual for a barley wine. I will say this last week and this week, both of them are just really smooth, easy drinkers, which is dangerous at 9.5%. But man, you could just sit and, this is a really nice springtime beer. It's still kind of chilly outside. At least it is here. But the days are warm and I could see just sitting outside, warming your skin with the sun and reading a book and just enjoying this beer. It's crisp. It's clean. Nice, healthy buzz right off the bat. Very nice. Breakside is killing it. They're just killing it. Really nice job.
I won't have it on this show, but I actually have a Breakside downstairs. It's an IPA.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's I might maybe we'll see. I don't think I'll break it out tonight, but because I would have to plan on something else. But yeah, Breakside, very very well done beers, very clean, very very smooth, very very well finished.
Yeah, I think I said this last week too, but they don't overcomplicate things. If they're gonna do something, they do it right. They just keep it simple, stupid, and really just follow a good recipe that's going to make a solid beer. I will say, someone pointed out to me, one of the listeners of the show, a frequent listener of the show, pointed out to me that they can always tell when the beer is exceptional because I start, making sexual references to it. And so I will say both of these beers are not to that level where I'm gonna, make love to the bottle.
Okay. So you're not deep throating the bottle or anything like that.
No, I'm not
putting
deep
in any
throating.
orifices.
I'm not. No, there's no penetration. This is heavy petting.
Okay, that's okay.
We're heavy petting. I'm and maybe even over the bra. Like the shirt is off, the pants are unbuttoned, the zipper's down, but we're over. There's still a layer of clothing there.
So you're getting the second base with this beer.
Yeah. Okay. A good healthy second base. You know what I just noticed?
That we're perverts?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because what I'm about to say is really going to take it over the top.
Excellent.
I just realized that this is a big bomber bottle, and the bottle starts real wide, and then it tapers off to this real. Just stick with me here, McShane.
Yep.
The bottle tapers off. You got the almost an hourglass thing there. Kind of tapers off to this really nice width there.
Yep.
But then at the end, it tapers off even more into a much smaller hole. And I think why they do that is so dudes don't fuck the bottle. Right? What other reason would you have to make a smaller hole like that?
I mean, I would have probably gone with, being able to cork it easier or put a regular type of.
But you could make any size cork.
You could, but okay.
Well, because
there's other things you could do with the bottle. I mean, you don't have to stick yourself in it. I mean, you could stick the bottle someplace else too. I mean,
that's true.
Honestly,
people do.
You could go that way. They could go that direction too.
People do, but that's dangerous. Actually, you create a dangerous suction, and I'm this is not from experience, but you can get it stuck. I'm just saying because I was sitting here thinking about it. I was like, what if it was a really good bottle of beer, and I just wanted to. Just get down with it. Just like make the experience.
You want to finish
completely
then finish.
Visceral. Yeah, finish the beer and then finish in the bottle. But you can't. I mean, I can't. I'm too. And I'm saying most men would probably be too big to get inside of a bottle head there. But don't say you haven't thought about it, guys, because I know you have. Anyway, I just. It's a good beer. It's a good beer.
It's a good beer, but it's not. It's not
fuckable.
It's not a fuckable beer.
It's not yet. I mean, maybe by the time I finish it, I don't know, beer goggles and all that. But
all right. Well, we'll see which one you're taking to bed at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I had some beer mail this week from you, and I appreciate that very, very much. So thank you.
That's fun for sure.
Absolutely. So this was a pilot that you got from Oakshire in Oregon. So thank you very much for sending it out. I am a little bit. I'm very curious of this beer. I don't know which way it's going to go though, because it has something to it that it's like what they call back east fluff. Or fluffernutter. Okay.
Yep.
And that isn't something that I had any idea about until I finally I started in this one book series that I just got done finishing up. It's the what the hell is it? It's the Maverick series. I'll have to look it up here, and I'll throw it in the show notes or something. Fantastic series, but the captain or the colonel in it is fascinated by fluffernutter, and it's this marshmallow substance.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that this is even a thing. So you've got this beer here. The theme from the bottom is our smoothie sour series, brewed with marshmallow, cream, and vanilla beans, and variety of fruits and adjuncts. Our from the bottom and from the top releases are the next to be mixed. From the bottom, raspberry, sweet cherry, tart cherry, marshmallow, cream, vanilla beans. Now,
yeah, and so that one is that's their latest. The one that you have is
a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's from I think probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
And so this will be interesting because I have had that beer and I'm with you. I went into it with some trepidation myself, just because for all the reasons you said, just because they can go overboard with it. It can get either too sweet or too sour or too whatever. They just go over the top with these beers. And so it's fine to have every once in a while, but it's not something you're going to crave every day. So I went into it with a little bit cautiously myself. So I'm interested to see what you think.
So this one is peanut butter and jelly fluffernutter smoothie sour ale.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it its day in court here.
All right.
It definitely has that jelly look to it. It's not thick like a lot of smoothies are, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. And even with the peanut butter, it's not super thick. It's just a nice, easy pour. Yeah. Yep.
I get a lot right off the bat. The nose, you get a lot of peanut butter.
Yep.
But it's like the dust. Wow, that's crazy.
Kind of like having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, huh?
Yeah, that's nuts. And you keep moving your tongue around in your mouth and salivating, and like the peanut butter stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah. The way I equated it. Well, what's your take before I give my review? It's your beer.
I probably wouldn't go back after it. It's definitely interesting. It's one of the better smoothies I've had.
Yeah.
It's a little heavy on the peanut butter. I'm curious how it's going to warm up, though. And I know I keep saying that, but a beer, after you pour it, it has a lifespan, right? It comes out cold, and then it starts mixing with the air. It gets a little bit more oxygen in it. The carbonation releases, and your beer is not the same as what it was when you first started drinking it. So, I like it. I do like it.
Yeah. Yeah, my assessment was exactly the same. What's strange though is that you're getting heavy peanut butter. I thought it was like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with too much jelly. I thought there was too much fruit to it.
Okay.
And so I'm with you. It's nice to have around the house because it's a really good second or third beer of the night. You know, you're not sure what to drink. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just go for a sour. Just to mix things up. So for that, I love having it around the house. I just wanted to share it because I really think it's a unique beer. I think they did a fantastic job with the beer. It's just not my favorite, but I wanted to share it just to see what you guys thought about it. So I'm glad you don't hate it, but I'm kind of with you. It's not going to be something that I go out and find again.
But I don't know. I'll have more by the middle of the show. I'm gonna have more comments on it though. So, but thank you again for sending it out. That is an absolute trip. Absolute trip.
Our pleasure.
All right, let's go ahead and get to a quick break, and we'll get back after it.
Excellent.
Fitz, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of housekeeping here.
Good. I've been looking forward to this one. I will say this one's probably long overdue.
It is way long overdue. One of our, I'm not even going to call him friends of the show, like Minds, great dude to talk to, Aaron from I Had to Say It podcast. And we're going to play a snippet of his show or his I'll get in there and I'll so you guys can listen to it. It's a promo spot. We'll go and we'll play that. But smart guy, very outspoken, great conversationalist. His show is awesome. He's very supportive. It's been a while since we added somebody to the the Hall of Champions, and we really wanted to do this because truly this guy needs to be there. So we are adding Aaron from I Had to Say It pod to our Hall of Champions.
Yes. Nice. That makes me happy. Well deserved, well earned, and again, just like you said, very supportive of our show. We want to be equally as supportive to his show because he really kills it every week, guys. So if you're listening to Whiskey Hell, get out there and listen to I Had to Say It. Really good stuff going on there too. So
go to ihadtosayitpodcast.com. That'll be your gateway into what he's doing. I think he is on Anchor. You can find him on Stitcher, all over the place. So please do check him out. Here's his promo.
The world's changing, and it's not necessarily for the better. Cancel culture is out of control. People that are claiming to be woke are actually more divisive and destructive than they will ever admit to. The silent majority's getting fed up. We're tired of normalization of things that should not be acceptable. We're tired of division. We're tired of fighting. A lot of us just wanted to be left alone. A lot of people are worried that they're going to be canceled, that people are going to come for them, that the woke culture is not going to allow them to have a voice or to have an opinion. Too many people in this world have gotten used to the idea that just because they have the loudest voices, they are somehow automatically right. They're way too comfortable using the false front of inclusion or acceptance to try and push hateful, divisive agendas. Instead of focusing on things we all have in common, they want to accent and highlight and push all the differences and forgetting the fact that we're all just people. It's time to bring back common sense. It's time to start focusing on inclusion instead of exclusion. It's time to stop worrying about things that happened generations before any of us were walking the earth. It's time to start holding people responsible for their actions. It's time to have the uncomfortable conversations. It's time to learn and grow and expand. I had to say at the podcast, having the uncomfortable conversations that need to be had. Available wherever you find your podcasts or at ihadtosayitpodcast.com.
Yep, that's a perfect summation. And we do have a Hefe sighting here. Great timing, Hefe. We were just inducting our newest member into the Hall of Champions. Aaron from I Had to Say It podcast just got put into the Hall of Champions. So I'm glad you're here to put the third stamp of the wheel of Whiskey Hell approval.
You do have my stamp.
Excellent. How's the night going? Wait, let me guess. All right. I'm
Dude,
really
no,
good.
no, hang on. Let me just say this. You're not going to guess, but go ahead and try.
Oh no, I'm good at this. I have a special weird talent.
If you guess how my night's going, what I was about to tell you guys, then I'll have your baby.
Well, we already signed that. We already signed that away a while ago, man. But no. So here. This is exactly how Hefe's night's going. So he got there. It was slow, not much going on. But then he got to to his first table, and four just unbelievably beautiful blondes sat down, and they all told their extremely rich boyfriends to go away, and they just started flirting with and tipping Hefe like out of control. You have already made, now this is just a round number here, but just a guess, but I'm going to say you've already made $1,300 tonight, and you have 3 out of the 4 girls' phone numbers. Am I right? How close am I?
You're pretty close.
Yes. See how good I am at this, McShane, dude. I'm so good.
You're a prophet. You're absolutely a prophet. See, I was gonna say that you made $1,300, but it was because Stevie Wonder sat down and he was playing blackjack with you.
I could just take a look, not looking, or not. Well, he's never looking, but
wow.
No, you're shockingly close. Here's how it actually has gone down today.
Okay, all right.
I've made $30.
Oh, so close.
So close.
And I'm announcing right here on the show. You guys don't know about this yet, but I'm announcing my retirement from dealing.
Really?
Yep.
You're done, huh?
Because a player at my table told me I was very handsome and I should be a movie star.
Wow. All right.
Uh-oh. Okay. Now, I mean, I agree with whoever this person was. You are a very handsome lad. Are we talking about a movie about dealers? And so you just kind of get to do your thing? Or are we talking like, John Wick meets, I don't know, like an action movie, a drama? What are we talking?
I don't know. All I know is that this 60-something-year-old Chinese man told me I'm handsome. And he guessed my name out. And he said, it's only 400 miles away. Go be a movie star. So I'm going. I'm taking his advice and I'm going.
Dude, if you put it in the context of like, let's say like the national debt, I was actually really close to how much you've made tonight. I mean, if you're talking about trillions of dollars,
oh yeah,
only being $1,270 off is not that. I mean, I was really close.
Yeah, I mean, you're so in the neighborhood.
Statistically significant, folks. That's what we call that.
Yep.
So do you have an agent, or do you need? Because I know a guy. His name's McShane, and he's an amazing promoter, businessman. He's got an eye for what's going to make you a star, what's going to get you in the movies, and I just feel like I could connect you two, and you could really make a go of it here.
I've heard he's kind of a groper, though.
Well, but that just comes with the territory. You gotta. That's just.
That's Hollywood. I mean,
go talk to Harvey Weinstein. That's just how it works, dude.
That's how you get in. That's how you get in.
I forgot to tell you guys this. Last night, I'd come to a blackjack table, and this is family playing. Like the mom and dad, in their 50s, and then the son, who's like in his early 20s, and his, I guess, girlfriend or wife. You could tell it was his parents. And they were all playing table minimum. They'd never played before. And all of a sudden, the mother, who's like farthest to my left, she goes, Bill Cosby had a funny bit about gambling. That where else would you go to just say, here's $200. Let me just have a good time. I don't care if I lose it. And I looked up at her and I'm waiting. I'm like waiting for more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looking at her smiling, and she just looking back at me. And I realized that they're, probably like a wholesome people, and maybe doesn't even know about the real Bill Cosby. I don't know.
They were.
I didn't go anywhere with it. I just let it hang.
They were churchgoers.
I think so.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you guys see that thread I sent this week from? It was on Twitter, and it was just somebody said something about Bill Cosby, and the entire thread was just people that put the GIFs of Bill Cosby being a fucking idiot. Oh, it was so funny.
Yep.
Good God. So good.
Jello pop. Yeah. That was funny. He's free now, right?
Oh, is he? He's out in the wild?
OJ's definitely free. I don't know about Bill Cosby though.
Yeah, we should look that up, and we should also track his, like what he's buying and selling as far as drugs go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's been released from prison.
He was released, yeah. Huh?
Should get him on a show.
Yeah.
Wow. Exclusive
Bill.
interview.
What's it like being a rapist, Bill?
Oh my God. Could you imagine just an hour with him, with the three of us? Just
no, we wouldn't remember it.
Well,
we'd be
roofied. He'd roofie us, and we'd all wake up with sore body parts. What was that?
There was some comedian that did a bit on him. Gosh, who was it? He was talking about fuck. I gotta look it up. But it was, I don't want to say it's Norm Macdonald, but it was some comedian telling a story about when he was younger and Bill Cosby. He ran into Bill Cosby, and fuck, I can't even remember the story now. But I'll have to look it up. But it's hilarious. It's really good. Trust me. Just trust me.
All right, we will trust you on that one.
So when do you leave for California?
I was debating. I should put my 2 weeks in or just fucking leave now. I'm 10 steps from the front door here.
Dude, do you have gas in the car?
Not enough.
Oh. Well, I still say go. Just go. I mean, you only live once, man. La vida loca. YOLO.
Well, I need McShane to hook me up. I mean, I don't want to just drive there and just have nothing. I need to have like
a solid gig.
Yeah, something.
All right, so let's get you in some headshots, and then
I got those.
We'll do.
I believe we've seen some of those from Vegas.
And you can send me some promo reels, and we'll get it pushed out to online so that we can get you some work. Maybe in a good commercial first before we get you into Samurai Dealer.
Give me a Payless Cashways. Give me one of those commercials.
Hey, you know what?
Dollar store.
No, I was on a Payless Cashways commercial. That's why I have faith. This is a jab at me. I was a child actor, and that was I did 2 commercials, Payless Cashways and Toyota. And the Payless Cashways one, for whatever reason, just kind of stuck. And it was a really cute commercial, and, fuck you.
Yeah, that's cute. I never saw a Toyota one.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh.
It was just, I was literally, my dad, quote unquote, my TV dad, was driving the new 4Runner, or maybe it's the new Tacoma or whatever. It was just showing how there's room for kids in the back, which it was when they had that weird kind of half cab in the back. And so, like, me and my quote unquote sister were sitting facing each other and like play fighting. And then at the end, we all jumped up and they pause it like it's great or whatever their tagline was.
Oh, what a feeling.
Yeah, what a feeling. That was it. And you jumped up with your legs in the back. Yeah. That one paid for the first half of my first year at SEC, that commercial.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, what year was that?
What year did I do it? Let's see. Hefe, you're going to have to help me with this one. I guess I was 13. So what I would have been, that would have been 1988.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to have to effort and see if we could find this on here because
88, 89, maybe.
Lead your next truck.
No, that wasn't it.
Not it? Okay.
No.
All right. So we're gonna have to figure this out.
Yeah, we'll have to find it, and I'll see if I can find the Payless Cashways one. Also, I think Payless Cashways became Home Depot eventually. So for those of you out there who are going, "What the fuck is Payless Cashways?" It became Home Depot, and I was in a commercial with my TV dad, and we built a deck together. And my claim to fame was there was like this rock music playing. This might be it. No, we weren't driving through the woods. That's not me.
We're going to continue doing this, but that's all right.
That's not me. Anyway, I and my claim to fame, there's like this rock music playing, and so in one scene in the Payless Cashways commercial, I was playing a 2x4 like a guitar, like an air guitar.
Nice.
And I just remember the director of the commercial, after like the third take or whatever, he came up and he I shit you not, it's like right out of the fucking movies. He came over, messed up my hair, and he was like, "You're going to be a star, kid." And he walked away. And I was like, wow, really? And then nothing, that was the last thing I ever did. Nothing ever else came. It was like a fucking curse he put on me.
Son of a bitch.
Anyway.
Did you ask your TV dad to be your real dad since you don't have one?
No, but you know what? He was a cool guy. He tried to get me a job. Because acting was like his side job. He had an actual day job at who are the people that take people's blood? United Blood Services or whatever?
Yeah.
Phlebotomist or whatever?
Yeah, well, but he's like one of their execs. And so I no, not me. That one's definitely not me. What are those people doing in the back? No, and so he's like, "Here, put together a resume and show me what you got. You're still gonna have to interview or whatever, but send me your resume." And I mean, I didn't even know how to speak French at the time, so I didn't know what resume meant. So I put together this thing, I sent it in, and he called my mom. He didn't even call me. He called my mom and was like, "Hey, your son has no idea what a resume is, and you need to help him, because it was that bad. It was a really bad, because I didn't have any work experience."
Vampires, they take people's blood too.
Oh, that's what he was. God,
yeah.
How did that slip my mind? That's what he was. That's why I couldn't see his reflection. How weird.
Now you know. The more you know.
Scott was his name, and he's a really good guy. And he actually just kind of stayed in contact with us because we did have a lot of fun on the set, and I loved doing those commercials. My God, the food, they just treated you like a prince, like a king. It was really fun. And you did 3 days of work and got paid $4,000. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, if anybody can find you in one of those commercials, I've got a Whiskey Hill t-shirt for him.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And you know what? I will try and find it. I know my mom still has the old VHS tapes, but I mean, I guess you can convert those to video now, but
probably.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll go inside.
All right, man. Well, until next break, peace out, man. I hope you make your $1,300. And the next Chinese man that sits down, just before he even opens his mouth, just say, shh, I know what you're going to say. and I'm already going to be going to Hollywood. Thank you.
Already halfway there, buddy.
Already halfway. Oh, good shit.
See you in a little while.
All right, man. Later.
All right. So the last piece of housekeeping was to say that we're not going to be talking about Trump tonight because our listeners have spoken.
I love that. I love that you put that poll out. I love that they chimed in and were like, no, leave it alone.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
So we're not striking the stuff that we had from the doc. You guys can go out and look at it. But we will not be discussing Trump this week. That's that.
Done and done.
All right.
Although that could get interesting. Not that we're going to talk about it, but that could get interesting in the next few weeks with all of the geopolitical tensions going on.
Yep.
And then you add this in here domestically. It could get interesting. So we'll see. Maybe we'll talk about him next week. Who knows?
So
Not that I want to talk about him. God.
No, but that's. No. I mean, we're going to end up talking about him at some point, so that's okay. But I think we're gonna, as the weeks go on here, I got a hunch we're gonna be talking a lot more about the likes of Robert F. Kennedy.
Yep.
Bobby's kid.
Yeah.
He's now running for president. We've got some other folks that have jumped in on the side of the Republicans to run for president. The lines are starting to be drawn here. We also have seen reports that Biden doesn't know what the hell he's doing anymore. He switched handlers. The new handler he has doesn't have a fucking clue. He's not doing anything to manage him. We had something last week where he was being walked out and told where to stand and who to start talking to.
Right.
Which I don't think that's real common for presidents.
I would hope not. But I mean, it was to the point where he's like, okay, so you're meeting with, this group and the man on the left is this. He's the one you want to shake his hand. There's going to be an X on the floor. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go walk and stand on your X. I mean, it was literally like enumerated out like that for him. And I listen, I don't want to be insensitive. I have people in my life right now who are in their late 70s and early 80s. That's no joke. You get that far in life, shit starts to fall apart. It mentally or physically or both. And so I'm not knocking the man. What I'm saying is that is our president. He is the leader of our country. And is that really what say what you want about Obama. I mean, the stuff that's come out about Obama has just been, ghastly. He was an awful, awful man. And the shit he did was terrible. But he was young. He was youthful. He was out there shaking hands and slapping babies. And he was doing it. No one had to tell him to go stand on a fucking X. So I don't know.
Down here?
Yes, sir. Down the ramp. And we have people lined up on the left over here. Some union leaders and workers.
Hey, guys and ladies.
Your mark is going to be the blue one to the left.
How y'all doing?
You've got a blue mark, and that's okay.
I'll stand my blue mark, and then I'm going to say load each one of you.
Yes, sir. I'll help you get started.
Down here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll help you get started.
No, we don't want,
God damn.
like you were saying. I mean, we've got older folks in our lives, and that you get to a point where, you definitely need somebody to just to be there. This is the leader of the free world. This guy is supposed to be, presenting, a fierce, serious country, and we can't get there with this.
No. Somebody on a thread that I got sucked into, and this was probably, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, maybe. It was a while back, but somebody said, "Oh, I you know what? Just give Biden 10 minutes alone in a padded room with Putin." And I was like, my comment was, all that would be left would be smears of Biden. I mean, you wouldn't find the body. Putin would eat most of it and use the rest of it for decorating the padded room. I mean, Putin was ex-KGB. He's still in fucking amazing shape. He doesn't need a handler. He's out there talking and walking and living life. Say what you want about him. He might be a communist prick, but he's still physically fit. He would wipe the floor with Biden. I don't know why someone, maybe they were trolling. I don't know, but
I don't know either. It's sad though, and it's you hate seeing that. You really do.
Yeah, you do.
Speaking of oh shit. Well, let's just go here. Speaking of Obama, interesting little tidbit came up this week. This is from the Post Millennial. Leonardo DiCaprio testifies that the CCP-linked Malaysian financier, now a fugitive, sent $30 million to Obama during the 2012 campaign.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me that DiCaprio's not going to have one of the most amazing stories when he gets into like his 80s. There's going to be a biography, some kind of a documentary, and it's going to be like Playboy mansions, 25-year-olds everywhere. He's banging everything that walks. He's not committed to anybody, and he was part of the scheme to finance Barack Obama's campaign in 2012.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was more that he was just in the room.
Just in the room.
He got invited into the room, and someone was bragging about the fact that they had, committed this money to Obama, and bragging on the fact that you can't take money from foreign, parties as a presidential candidate. But so this guy was saying, well, here's how we got around that. I formed shell companies in the United States so I could funnel money through those to get to Obama. I mean, bragging about it. And DiCaprio somehow was there to hear it. And I want to know, I mean, this begs the question, how many other rooms has this motherfucker been in where he's heard shit? And he could probably bring down entire regimes with the shit he knows.
I think he's heard shit. I think he's seen shit. I think he's done shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's going to be Hemingway. Hemingway comes to mind when I see this guy.
Oh, okay.
He strikes me as a Hemingway type.
Right.
That's what I'm searching for there. That's what he strikes me as.
No, and I mean, the young women aside, which, listen.
Wouldn't we all?
If I had his looks, his talent, and was, had been in the movies he's been in, had the money that he has, I good for him. You know what? Don't commit to anybody. Just live your life the way you want to live your life. If someone wants to be part of that and get on the Leonardo D, then go for it. And if they don't, then they don't have to, and you don't have to judge anybody for it. But that all aside, he enjoys traveling. He enjoys food. He enjoys experiences. So yeah, I think you're right. His biography or autobiography, if he chooses to write it himself, I don't know, could really be an amazing story. And I would read it. Fuck. I mean, I love biographies. I'd read it.
Oh, totally. absolutely. So DiCaprio plays into the saga because he was said to have partied with Zhao Lo, a Malaysian financier who apparently suggested to DiCaprio once during a conversation that he intended to contribute to Obama's presidential campaign, according to the New York Post. DiCaprio said, "It was a casual conversation about what party he was in support of. I told him what party I was in support of, and he told me that he and a group were going to make a significant contribution to the Democratic Party. I said, wow, that's a lot of money." So it's interesting. I didn't know this was even a thing until this week. It's nice that it popped up. Kind of sucks that the Fugees, the R&B, are they R&B or are they rap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the same thing. Anyway, but it sucks that Praz is actually part of this, and apparently,
yeah,
he went. That's a weird thing. He turned into a lobbyist.
Yeah. Stopped rapping, and yeah, that is weird to me too. And I'm with you. I love the Fugees. Every song they did could have been a hit. The only reason they weren't is because they had some songs that were just bigger hits. But all their music is just brilliant. They were brilliant.
Yep.
But
yep,
yeah, it's
totally.
just weird that he went in to be a fucking hitman, like a lobbyist. Weird.
Yeah.
But life takes you in weird directions, and I guess you got to answer the call. I don't know.
That's right. Well, there's good money in lobbying too. I mean,
well,
probably better than getting played on Spotify.
For sure. I just,
Please don't tag us, Spotify. I'm sorry for that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a label for that one, aren't we?
We probably are. Well, we haven't brought up COVID yet. We could bring up COVID now if you want.
No, because you know what? I want to head back up to. Can we head to the can we just get over the Matt Taibbi Substack weirdness?
If we can make sense of it.
Yeah, because that's exactly it. I can't make sense of it. I want to talk about it, just and then we can just move on and then we can just fuck off the rest of the show. But this one kind of seems heavy, and I feel like we should do it now before we get to our second beers. So go ahead.
All right, so I'll just read Matt Taibbi's his note that he dropped on Substack. Earlier this afternoon, I learned Substack links were being blocked on Twitter, since being able to share my articles is a primary reason I use Twitter. I was alarmed and asked what's going on. It turns out Twitter is upset about the new Substack Notes feature, which they see as a hostile rival. When I asked how I was supposed to market my work, I was given the option of posting my articles on Twitter instead of Substack. Not much suspense there. I'm staying on Substack. You've all been great to me, as has management of this company. Beginning early next week, I'll be using the new Substack Notes feature, to which you will all have access instead of Twitter, a decision that apparently will come with a price as far as any future Twitter Files reports are concerned. It was absolutely worth it, and I'll always be grateful to those who gave me the chance to work on the story. But man, is this a crazy planet. Have a great weekend, blah, 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 blah. So with that, he took a lot of shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to minimize the impact of the Twitter Files, because he did start a shitstorm.
No, and I want to table something for later, but I recently listened to the Rogan interview of Schellenberger, and oh shit, that was a very interesting interview. For those of you who haven't heard it, not that Rogan needs any pimping or anything, but if you haven't listened to that particular interview, go out and find it. It was really eye-opening, not only what Schellenberger found, but just how he found it and where it went from there. Very interesting interview. So anyway, go ahead.
So this evening I went in and I started looking around. Like, am I going to have trouble getting the Substack posts?
Yeah, I'm
not having any trouble getting from Twitter to Substack. I haven't had any trouble getting to Schellenbergers. I haven't had any trouble getting to Taibbi's. I don't see the problem. I get it. I truly do. We've got another tweet here from Jordan Schatchel. Twitter now has a warning label up on Substack posts claiming the links may be unsafe. furthering the smear campaign against the independent publishing platform. Yeah, they've got he does have a warning that was posted. I haven't seen that warning come up in the wild yet, so I'm not going to say it's not accurate, but
me either. So here's where the confusion comes in, and I mean, so we had a lot of back and forth since this came out. Matt Taibbi posted on Twitter that he was basically leaving Twitter. Then he posted that article that McShane just read on Substack. But then Twitter fired back and said, no, we're not censoring anything. And then Substack fired back and said, yes, there's definitely something weird going on. And then just this afternoon, Twitter fired back again and said, here, and they basically have receipts saying, look, we're not doing shit. Here's 1 through 3 why we are not doing those things and why it's false. And so I don't know what's going on here. It feels like the only way, and this is okay. Hold on, let me put on my tinfoil hat.
Yep.
This feels like the only way. This is opinion. All right. We always talk about separating opinion from fact. This is totally Fitzy's opinion. I feel like this is the only way that the powers that be, the Biden administration, the FBI, the CIA, all the alphabet soup, they got caught red-handed with the Twitter files. And what happened there? I feel like this is the only way that they can put a wedge in between Elon and Taibbi and Schellenberger and Barry, all the ones that did all of the Twitter files, and say, look, they're sabotaging your company that you're loyal to, so don't post on Twitter anymore. That's just what it feels like, that this is just a black swan event, and that really this isn't happening, but both parties now they have their backs up. No one's going to back down. Someone just pulled out a knife and now a shit's real. Because that's what it feels like. Because from what I'm seeing, both sides are correct. There was some tomfoolery going on with the Substack links on Twitter, that they were, unsafe, etc. You couldn't respond. You couldn't leave a message or a comment. But then Twitter fires back and it's like, hey, that's not on our end. We're not doing that. So now it makes me wonder, well, then who's doing it? Because something fishy is going on. And that's just what it feels like to me. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. But kind of, I have that tingling in my ball sack. I feel like I'm right.
I think that's an interesting take, because I had not thought about it from that perspective. And I also forgot about Matt Taibbi's house being raided by the IRS last week.
You bet.
And then he was also put in front of the Congress 3 weeks before that. And we've already talked about those things. So to your point, I think, I could totally see that. And tinfoil or not hat or not, we got to acknowledge that when the government steps into the room, well, there could be something there. My thing, maybe I just went at it too naively, was that it looked like it was just a throwdown between Substack and Twitter. From the standpoint of Twitter, one of their big features for selling the whole blue check thing is to add 10,000 characters so somebody can do a long form article. Right.
Yep.
And that's what that's what he's referring to, right? But that in of itself, if that's accurate, is pathetic, because you're willing to go ahead and minimize free speech, allowing everybody else to be able to go ahead and dump whatever onto your site, all because you're afraid you're not going to make $7 or $8 for somebody not being able to go ahead and post their stuff there.
That's why it doesn't make sense to me. That's spiting your, what is it? Spite your nose to.
Cut off your nose to spite your face.
To spite your face. Thank you.
There you
wow. Go. That was really fucking hard. I don't see Elon. Elon is, say what
he's
you want
smarter
about
than that, right?
Yeah. He's calculating. He understands that by losing, $8 a month from one guy, the millions of people that were tuned in to the Twitter files and what could come from that in the future would far outweigh what's going on here and this ridiculous squabble.
So,
and yeah.
And to that point, 1.8 million views on Matt Taibbi's on his tweet, right?
Yep.
Anybody who's going into that feed, if anybody who's looking at any of the interactions that are there, there's ads stuck all the way through it. That is how Twitter works now. So why you would kick somebody off the platform, or not kick them off, to obstruct them enough that they want to leave, is ridiculous, because you're not you're losing somebody who has massive interaction. So
see, and once again, I feel, God, we say this every damn week now, but I feel like, number one, this smells of government collusion, or some shadow agency that's just saying, hey, what if we pin these two guys against each other and made it a drama thing, and then no more Twitter files. So, but you have that, but then also we're all very focused and like, shit, Taibbi's leaving Twitter. What's happening behind the scenes? What are we not seeing? What is this taking our attention away from? Interesting, very interesting development. And I'm glad we tackled it now. I'm glad it's off our plate. We don't have to talk about it again unless, this story develops, which of course, the hard-hitting staff here at Whiskey Hill will bring this to you next week. But I'm glad we talked about it, because it seems weird, it seems fishy, and we will be following this, because if you told me by next week that Twitter would be suing Matt Taibbi, I wouldn't be surprised. But also, if you told me next week that everything was fine and they worked it out and Taibbi was back on Twitter, I also wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we can go back and look, and then maybe I'll do this during the next break. I think Elon even said he wouldn't be against purchasing Substack, and that was like a month ago.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, that's also on the table. He had discussed that a month ago. So you wonder how that plays in. Well, because if Elon acquires Substack, that would be the stake in the vampire's heart. That would be the end to all of this ridiculous, government overreach and oversight over, censorship, all of it that happened during COVID and the lockdowns and Fauci and all of it. It would just put it all to an end, because you would have this fully independent journalism machine with the likes of Matt Taibbi and others, in addition to Twitter, which literally has the most eyeballs on it than any other app on the planet. So, I mean, that would be huge. And so you have to wonder, did this play a role in that?
It could just be business. It absolutely could be business. And that was actually December 27th, 2022. So I posted telesarde.com. We've got a post on that. So it would not surprise me if that's where it is then too. It could just be business. Maybe it's just something fell apart. They're in negotiations, and somebody bailed. Somebody said something they didn't like, and you know what? Fuck you. I'm just not going to let you. I'm gonna mess with your links.
Right. And hey, I mean, listen, don't kid yourselves. We've all been there. Something, you want something so bad, and then something petty happens, and you're like, fine, fuck it, I'm going to burn it all to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I get it. It makes me sad, because the Twitter files really felt to me like something had changed. It was like a seminal moment in the internet, in mass media. And it felt like a little bit of the power got returned to the people.
Yes.
And now it just feels like it's gone.
We were vindicated.
Right.
We got revenge. All of those things that we knew were happening and couldn't prove. All of the being slighted because you're conservative. All the backhanded bullshit that came along with being censored and being oppressed. And let's just call it what it is. That was a liberal oppression machine. That was on Twitter. When you can throttle somebody and you can make sure that their view isn't getting out there to anybody, or you don't like what they said, so you're gonna go ahead and knock them off the platform, or worse, ghost them, so that they don't even know that they're gone, but they're not reaching anybody, and they're just sitting there out in the middle of nowhere, lost in limbo, going, "What the fuck happened to me?" Yeah, we got some power back. Well, at least we felt like we did. I mean, and it could be imaginary because you still got a guy who owns it for $44 billion. But at the end of the day, we did get a little bit of power back.
Yep.
And now having this, which Substack, it's a free-flowing, free-thinking platform. Your point of views go out, and they're out there for the world. And also, it's a good money driver for a lot of writers that don't want to work for somebody like the New York Times or NPR, which we'll get into later, or one of the other hack media outlets that don't necessarily let you go ahead and be an actual journalist. They feed you whatever you're supposed to go and put out, which is exactly what we're totally against.
Yeah, the NPR thing is going to play into this too. And I still have a lot of respect. Again, this is just, my personal opinion. I still have a lot of respect for Taibbi as a journalist, for what Elon Musk has done with Twitter. I know there's a lot of people out there that just think it's a terrible place now. In fact, Stephen King, he wrote this week, he had a tweet, and I had to fire back on him because, come on, dude, what are you talking about? But,
he's frustrated.
And I'm not sure why I still follow him, other than I just love his writing. But he said, Twitter went from a feeling like a nice, safe neighborhood to one of those seedy neighborhoods that you don't go to after dark, or something to that effect. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? That's borderline fucking racist, A. Yep. And B, Twitter is open and free now. It's not this closed off, safe little space where everyone just says good and kind things and kumbaya and let's all beat our bongos. It's an actual real life place again. And so we just have to be careful of what Twitter is going to become, how it morphs, how we interact with, organizations like Substack or Twitter or TikTok or whatever. I mean, you all have your own personal responsibilities on that, but as a whole, as a society, we need to be careful, need to know who owns these places and follow the money, who's paying for what. Very, very interesting times we're in right now.
Hey, how's that beer going?
This beer is going extremely well. I feel like, what just happened actually a minute ago. The reason I had a brain fart is because I undid her bra.
All right.
Yeah. I undid her bra, and so things are going really well over here with this beer. It's so you always talk about, how a beer warms up.
Yep.
The more this is warming up, it's really smoothing out. It's not got quite so much of that fruity plum. It's just kind of caramelizing out. It's really nice. Very nice beer. How about yours?
Still not too boozy?
No. Nope. Don't. I mean, again, just like volume 1, kind of scary. You do not taste the 9.5% at all on this.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Mine, I finished it, and I do like it. I do. It's more popsicle like though.
Uh-huh.
It's really hard to describe. It really, really is hard to describe. And I think, what, you ever have those peanut buster?
Peanut buster parfait?
Yeah, something like that. Or too much chocolate in those.
Yeah.
But it has the same kind of, I don't know. It's hard to describe. This is a really perplexing beer. I did like it though. Mouth-watering, probably the most mouth-watering beer I've had in a long time. I mean, this gets you, that sour gets you right in the back and squeezes your tongue.
It really does. I agree. In fact, when you were talking about that you were going to have that beer first, my mouth, I got the Pavlov. My mouth started watering. I was all over it. So yeah, I agree. And it's a unique beer. Like I said, I like having it around because every once in a while you're just in the mood for something that's just a little left to center, but not all the time. Not all the time.
No, but it's summer beer. I could totally see this being a summer beer.
Yes, for sure.
Well, let's go ahead and get into beer 2, and we'll take a quick break.
Love it.
All right, Fitz, I am shifting gears. I'm taking a hard right.
Okay.
And I have had this beer in its normal form.
Normal? What do you mean by normal? What's normal?
So this is an Oso beer. It's an imperial stout. The normal, I would call it a base. Their base beer, Tequero, which this one is it's barreled. The original though is in mezcal and bourbon barrels, So this particular one, Jesus, I just poured it all over my fucking pants. That's a thick fucking beer. This is not good. Holy shit, this is viscous. I'm gonna have to take off my shorts and lick my crotch now. Wait, that sounded bad.
Hey,
what I wanted to say was
that, dude, you would be the envy of
well,
a lot of people.
I would never leave the house, but I've got my shorts have imperial stout on them. Wow, that's cold. It's cold.
You can't wash
tingly.
those now.
No, well, I'm gonna wring it out in my mouth in a minute. We'll have that at the end. It's a 13.8. This is actually has Mexican chiltepin peppers. Chiltepin? I never know how to pronounce that word. Chiltepin peppers and vanilla beans. It is their Mexican chocolate stout.
Oh, my favorite. Chiltepin. That's Chiltepin.
Oh, oh, the mezcal. Holy shit. This is on fire. Oh, boy. This is an evil, bitter fuck.
Well, I mean, the bowl with the red eyes as the artwork on the cover of that can kind of says it all.
It is a no doubter. This is so far. It is so amped up from the base. Cinnamon sticks. You know that we've talked about this before. There's different kinds of cinnamon that you can put into a beer. Are you putting in cinnamon sticks? Are you just putting in like some ground cinnamon? How are you working that in? Right.
Right.
You know, if you ever put a cinnamon, I know we've had the same conversation, and I know your answer. But just for anybody who's just tuning in, have you ever put a cinnamon stick in your mouth and gotten that bitterness?
Oh yeah. Oh, it'll knock you on your ass.
Oh wow. This is a pure. This is a very. You get exactly every part of the beer. The cinnamon sticks, you get the vanilla, you get the cacao, you get the cocoa, you get the peppers. It's not super hot from the perspective of spice, but you get every note. Nothing is missed. Nothing's hiding.
Dude, you know what I you know what that beer is? You know what I call those beers antibiotic beers. You're literally killing every nasty bug in your entire body. Viruses, bacteria, fungus, it's all being eliminated right now. So
my body's going to be a hostile place for a few days.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well have eaten 6 cloves of garlic.
Fuck, and it's 13.8% on top of it.
Yeah.
So
you do know shamans used cinnamon sticks. They would have you chew on cinnamon sticks to cure a lot of different diseases. So
no shit.
Yeah, that bitterness you're getting. I mean, that's the good stuff, man. That's the healing. That's the yeah.
I'm healed.
You are healed.
That all being said, this is a very good beer. It is a very, very good beer. I just wasn't expecting it. Not especially with the smell. The smell didn't give away a lot of the textures that you were going to get with that taste. A violent surprise, but a very, very good one. again, going back to how these are going to warm up, I expect the mezcal to drop off. I expect the bourbon barrels to continue in there. And I'm betting I'm going to get a little bit more chocolate by the time we get to the end. But that's
I mean, all the high notes are going to burn
Woo!
off, right? Just, I mean, they're
Yep.
going to combine with oxygen, and you could probably light a propane, gas tank with that shit.
Oh yeah.
But once that all sort of, burns off and evaporates, you're going to get the real heart of that beer. That one more than any other beer maybe we've had in a while. I'm very interested to see what that's like when it warms up, because it's going to be a totally different beer.
Yep. So that's a Mexican mocha, Te Quiero from Ales from the Crypt from Oso. I gotta start pulling some of these beers to send them up to you.
Yeah, I'm jealous. That one to me, that's my wheelhouse. I love the Mexican hot chocolate beers.
Yep.
And you know what's great? Everybody has their own take on it. So you can say, okay, I've had one Bud Light, I've had all Bud Lights. Right, that's a fact for sure. But if you've had one Mexican hot chocolate beer, you have not had any of the others. They're all different. They all have varying degrees of heat, of chocolate, and
the peppers are different.
Yes, exactly. So you just can't put those into a category, because they're all going to sort of blow your mind in one way or the other. So that's awesome, dude. I'm actually really envious. I feel like at the end of the night, I of all the beers, I want to take yours to bed.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think, and there's probably a little bit of this is the absolute shift from what I had first, which was a pleasant, let's just sit down on a patio and just sip on a beer for a few hours, and we go to this, and this is just angry.
Oh yeah, I mean that first one I think was like a 5%er. It's like almost a session ale. You could just drink that all day, and then you go to this thing that's like, it's a fucking Mack truck right up your butthole. That's a lot of truck to put in your butthole, man.
To steal a phrase that you like to come up with, I'm being face fucked by this beer. So
yeah, well, welcome. It's a fun ride. Yeah, it's a fun ride.
What do you got over there?
Well, talk about shifting gears. I really shifted gears here. A brand new brewery to me. And I'll be honest, I chose this one. Well, I didn't choose this beer 100% because of the can, of the artwork, because it is a stout, and of course that's what you and I gravitate towards is stouts.
Yeah.
But there was something about the artwork on this can that really made me pull it off the shelf. So this is Kings and Daughters Brewery, which I'm not even really sure where they're from. Looks like they're from Clackamas, Oregon here. So they're a local brewery. They must be new because I've never heard of them. So Kings and Daughters. And this beer is called Wintering. And it is a cozy stout is what they're calling it. I don't know what a cozy stout. Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
All right.
But here we are, and I'm willing to try it. It's a 7.3 ABV. So I'm going to read you what's on the can here.
Yeah.
As we settle into the colder months, so this must be a winter beer that they're just trying to get rid of because maybe it didn't do so well at the brewery. I don't know. As we settle into the colder months, we gravitate towards all things comforting and cozy. Steaming cups of tea, early morning candles, movie marathons that start at 1 p.m., and extra blankets on beds. That is for sure. We created this cozy stout with chilly, shorter days in mind. Fire up your fireplace, turn on the twinkle lights, grab a favorite book. Have you read the Nevermore series? Oh, really? I have read the Nevermore series. That's crazy. Great books. If you haven't read those, great books. Anyway, and pour yourself a wintering stout. Unique and special enough for the holiday evening. Classic enough for every night at home. Featuring cacao coffee roasters. So, it's going to be a coffee chocolate stout, I'm sure. Their artwork is just subtle and beautiful. And like I said, I saw it on the shelf and I thought, man, it's going to be an interesting, if nothing else, it's going to be an interesting beer to talk about on the show. So, here we go. Oh God. Okay. Okay, I get it. I get it. So, you wake up, fucking, you're blitzed from the night before. You're tired. You're dragging ass, and you need
Go for
that
another.
first cup of Joe. Have this instead.
Okay.
Have this instead. It is a coffee stout, not heavy on the coffee, but enough that you know that there's some coffee beans in there, and then the chocolate on the end just smooths this thing out. This is a scrumptious little coffee and chocolate covered panther.
Oh wow.
And she's purring. She's purring. She wants to lick you with the barbed tongue, but you won't let her because it hurts.
Because it's
So
a
you're just gonna,
barbed tongue.
yeah. So you're just gonna drink. You're just gonna drink her in. That's what this is. Wow. That's a wow. I'm very surprised by this beer. I'm really happy I picked it up.
I didn't expect that review based on their website. So if you go to
Me either.
kingsanddaughters.com, it is an Etsy site. If you ever want, it is
No, it
bubbly
totally
and
is.
kind, and it is so not what we usually go to.
No, you're right.
Usually it's fire, brimstone, and hell, and
Oh,
you
okay.
got just nothing but it's beautiful. It's so
Oh,
pure
it's
and
gorgeous. No, well, that's Mount Hood there on the front.
Okay.
That picture, yeah, that's Mount Hood. No, I'm really pleased by this beer. Really well done. Now I can't speak for their other beers. I'm hoping that I get more of their stuff down here, so I can review, because I'll definitely give them another try. This is a really well done beer. This is one of those where you kind of forget that you're drinking a beer at all,
right.
and you're taken to a place because of the the strong coffee and chocolate notes. You're taken to another place. This isn't a beer. This is a moment in time, and you want it to last forever. It's a really good beer. Holy shit.
Wow. All right. Sounds like you found a new brewery.
Yeah, I did. Man, I want to go up to Clackamas now. They're not far from here. Hour and a half or so.
So I did make it out to a new brewery today, actually, and they've actually been around for about a year, I guess. And I had no idea, but I made it over to Patent 139, and this is on, gosh, what is it? Dobson and Ray.
Okay.
No, not Dobson and Ray. Well, yeah, actually, I think it is Dobson and Ray. That's not going to be beneficial for anybody out there other than anybody who's in Arizona, which we've got some folks. So please go there and check it out. The food was fantastic. It's on a little man-made lake.
Okay.
Like in just off of a bunch of condos and things. Really good beers. I actually had a Grant's big maple stout today.
Ooh.
It was a 12%er. Really nice to see that they're doing that. And the thing that kind of surprised me was I got an 8-ounce draft out of it, and it was only $6.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
on
that
a 12%er.
On a 12%er. Yeah, usually you're going to get 5 ounces, and they're going to charge you 8. So
or 12.
Or 12, yeah, for that matter.
Yeah.
But a nice little brewery. It was fun, and like I said, the food was really good. I had something called their wings called Peach Reapers.
Ooh.
And so they had peaches that were over. So you had the sweet, and then you had the heat of the Reaper, and it was there was a Reaper pepper that was used in coating it. So I thought it was fun. It was a fun place to go, and it was just nice to get out and enjoy a little bit of Arizona flavor there. So if anybody out here or is in the Phoenix area, go over to Patent 139. It was fun.
Dude, that's enough. Next time I'm in town, let's hit that up. Did you know, fun fact, again, Fitzy's brain just sort of derailing everything, but did you know that the more heat, hot sauce or peppers or whatever that you crave in your food, and the more you eat them, the more testosterone that you produce. And this is true for men and women. And
really?
Also, yes, the more heat that you can stand in a pepper, the more heat or cold that your body can stand as far as like temperatures. Like you can go from a really cold the cold baths that people do, like, sub 35-degree, ice baths, all the way up to going into a sauna that's, 220 plus. The more heat you can stand eating peppers, the more tolerant your body gets to temperature fluctuations up and down.
Shit.
Yeah, really crazy stuff. Andrew Huberman, he's a PhD, he's a professor at Stanford, and he's been on Rogan a few dozen times, and he has his own podcast. And I like listening to him on his podcast. When he's on Rogan, they get into a weird competition thing, and I don't like it. So I like listening to his podcast, Huberman's podcast, and he just all his lab is interested in is doing scientific experiments on the human body and its limits, and what improves the human experience and what degrades from the human experience. And so it's really useful information. So if you haven't checked out his podcast, go check him out too, because he's putting out some amazing science. I mean, you don't have to go and pay for the white paper. You don't have to go and review, scientific. He just says, hey, this is the study we did. This is what we found. We're going to do the same study again to make sure it's replicatable. And take it for what you will. He's a really and he's kind of in our age group. He's a little bit younger than we are, maybe by a couple years, and but grew up, Generation X, and so he gets it. He just like, look, the world fucking sucks, and here's what you can do to make it better. So anyway, that's a quick plug for Andrew Huberman, but also just to your point with the heat that you're getting from that beer, that's actually helping you build tolerance for the upcoming Phoenix summer, which is going to be a doozy, I think.
So that's Huberman Lab?
Yep, that's him.
All right. Well, I will add.
Look at that.
Huberman.
I mean, so much great stuff. Everything from like a fitness regime that you can actually stick to like, getting the optimal amount of sunlight into your eyes every morning, to how to balance your hormones, your estrogen versus your testosterone. I mean, all of it. They just do everything in that lab, and it's super good work. And what I like about him too is he'll say, look, I don't have enough time to do all the studies, so here's what one of my colleagues did, and this is what they found, and this is also cool. And so he's definitely about kind of spreading the wealth, and like, this is the cutting edge science of what the human body is capable of. It's pretty great.
Interesting. All right. Well, add it to show notes. So
excellent.
Everybody go and check him out.
Excellent. That was not planned, by the way, but I just, with your hot beer, I just thought, man, that's a perfect
okay.
tie-in. Yeah,
that's okay. And I really want to see my testosterone grow. So why not?
You and me both, man. I mean, I want to see mine grow. I don't really want to see yours grow. I don't really think any of us, you, me, or Hefe, want to see anything on any of us grow.
No. But we're not against opening an OnlyFans for others to. See.
No, I mean, if you guys want to watch something on me grow, let us know. If there's a desire out there, we'll make it happen.
We'll start a Patreon. And we'll have just videos for the ladies.
Exclusive content.
Or anybody who wants exclusive content.
Yeah.
You subscribe for $10 a month. You get Fitz making love to something.
Wow. So I'm running a porn channel now?
Yeah. Or for science.
Look, given Hefe's history, I feel like he should be running it. Yeah, he should run the porn channel. You know what? I'll do workout stuff, and like, brain science stuff, and then cut to, Hefe, using his member on somebody.
Maybe that's what the Asian dude was wanting, was him to go into porn.
Oh, that's funny. I did not see that coming. Like, when he said someone thought he should be an actor,
we didn't even.
I thought it might be like an older woman, but when he was like, it was an older Asian man.
Yeah.
But I will say that's one thing about the Asian culture. They're they're somewhat reserved and very respectful and proper in their younger age. But then it's like expected that once you cross this threshold of a certain age, you just say whatever the fuck is on your mind, and everybody has to take it. Everybody. you just whatever comes out of their mouth, because you have to respect your elders. That's part of the culture.
Kind of like our show.
They can say anything. Kind of like our show. That's, that might be the title of this show. Kind of like our show. What's the next news story here? What do we got?
Well,
There's so much going on, dude. Jesus.
We're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to get back and get into NPR. So, Fitz, did you know that NPR is state-run media?
I have known that for several years, actually.
Well, it's official now. Elon has said so. This is not the Elon cast. This is not the Musk cast. Whatever. It's not.
No.
But this week was heavy in his little world. They slapped a U.S. state-affiliated media title on him, and that is hilarious.
And accurate. I mean,
it's
the reason
totally
it's funny
accurate.
It's because it's accurate. Yeah, right.
And they changed it. I just would go to NPR on Twitter, and now it says government-funded media.
Okay. What's the difference? Well, I mean,
it's nothing, but it's just as bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're talking semantics here. It's still the same thing.
NPR is an independent news organization committed to informing the public about the world around us. You can find us every other place you read the news.
Yeah, but that's their tagline on all their newscasts. That's what they say. Independent news organization committed. Yeah, that's what they say every time.
But
but they are state funded. They are taxpayer funded. They are also crowdsource funded. So the people who listen to NPR fund NPR. So I don't. How does that not create a tunnel of masturbation?
Oh,
right?
It totally is. It totally is.
I like, lesbian porn, so I'm going to pay for lesbian porn, which makes the creators make more lesbian porn, which makes me pay more, and then you have this more loop. The loop just goes around, and pretty soon, all you see in the world is lesbian porn. What's the difference between that and NPR? There isn't. But the problem is that they come out and they say that they are independent.
There's nothing independent about them.
Nothing. They are state funded in addition to being listener funded, which makes them completely dependent on what the listeners want. And who listens to NPR? Mostly liberals. And I'll be honest, I was an NPR junkie for a lot of years. There's some great stuff going on NPR. I'm not going to disparage them completely, but you also have to know going in what you're listening to. It's completely left. It's completely liberal. I mean, they were one of the first ones and are still out there advocating for masks and vaccines.
Because who sponsors them?
Right. So don't tell me that you're completely independent. No, you are not. You are dependent on who's giving you the fucking money.
Yikes. I mean, I think we all knew it. It wasn't, whatever.
No.
But it was interesting that Twitter is throwing down the gauntlet, though.
Yeah.
Now, there's also a website that I thought this was honestly, because we love digging up stuff. We love doing research. Influencewatch.org. You guys can go out there and check out the site. The site is really, really great.
Yeah,
this dives into people, nonprofits, for-profits, labor unions, anybody who, pretty much any entity it looks like, they're going to have the scoop on. Where do they get their money from, the history, all the research you could possibly want. The budget for NPR is on there. Links to it, it's just straight up, it's just information. That's all it is. It's just, it's not saying, one thing, it's not saying anything bad. This is just the way it is. But yeah, so they get 11% of their funding is coming directly from the federal government.
Which is a problem.
Federal, state, and local governments, yes.
Yep.
It is a problem. It totally is a problem. Now, I want somebody, and I I didn't have time to get into, let me see here, like NBC, Comcast, NBC Universal Foundation. That looks like it's an actual foundation, though. It's not the actual It's not Comcast. Well, actually, left-leaning advocacy grants.
Yeah, this is a great website, actually. For all of you who are out there kind of wondering what we're looking at, as McShane said, influencewatch.org. You can, what's cool is McShane's going up to the search box, and you can put in whatever you want to look for. Fox News, CNBC, whatever it is that, NPR, you put it in and it'll tell you exactly, who funds them, who's watching them, left-leaning, right-leaning, centrist, whatever.
Alameda Research. Here's Alameda really cool. Research.
Yep.
FTX. And they've got stuff in here on the FTX collapse. They've got stuff in here on Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm really happy with this site. So we're going to keep this site in our back pocket here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is going to be a resource for the show going forward, because when somebody says something ridiculous like NPR is neutral,
no,
we're gonna go ahead and look this up. So great site to go out and fuck around on. I think I thought it was interesting. What was crazy was the NPR thing. The White House actually reacted to this and came out with their own statement on this.
Media. Do you have a comment?
Yeah, so social media companies make their own independent decisions about content rules, so I won't comment on Twitter's rules, but what I will say, more broadly, I'll say there's no doubt of the independence of NPR's journalists. And has been, if you've ever been on the receiving end of their questions, you know this. You know that they have their independence in journalism. NPR journalists work diligently to hold public officials accountable and inform the American people. The hard-hitting independence nature of their coverage speaks.
So as she's reading this, from a fucking prompt, it's not like she believes what she's saying. She's just reading it. Because somebody wrote it. Some fucking intern wrote it.
They work digitally. I love that. Do they work digitally?
God, this world is so, so again, I not to keep pumping it, but the Schellenberger interview on Rogan, I mean, basically talking about how we went from 9/11, which we're not going down that rabbit hole, but 9/11 and the laws that were created around going out and trying to find quote unquote terrorists. And then in 2010 to 2012, a series of laws were passed that turned that infrastructure, that machine that was out looking for quote unquote terrorists, turned it on the American public. And then that is a fact. That's not my opinion. That is what happened. And once that happened, and then Trump got elected, which threw everybody for a fucking loop. Nobody saw that coming. They thought for sure Hillary was going to come in. They had their own agenda for her, and she lost, and they couldn't fucking believe it. So they had to label it Russian interference, and the whole thing. We've all lived it. I'm not going to go over all that, but the whole interview that happens with Schellenberger really reveals a lot of stuff. And he's not talking about conjecture. He's talking about facts, stuff that he saw, reports that he saw, emails from people to other people. It's incredible. And we're living it right now, and we all need to be aware that we're in it. This isn't conjecture. we're here.
No, it's very much real. And I don't know what else there is to say about it other than nobody's paying us.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're not getting grants. We're putting stuff out there we think is important. We appreciate you listening. All we want you to do is do some thinking. We're not even going to try and change your mind when you go ahead and you send us connect with us on Twitter or whatever site. If we disagree with you, we just want you thinking. We love it. We love it. Yep. We love it. Love it. That's all we care about. But don't fucking listen to NPR. That's fine. You find something interesting, great. That's fantastic. I listened to NPR today, in full disclosure. Yeah. I also turned it off pretty quick because it's Wait, Don't Tell Me isn't even fun anymore because it's just a bunch of right hate or left.
God, I used to love that show.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's so wrapped up in itself that it's just.
But yeah, now it's just also left. It's not even fun to listen to. And I will make this commitment, and I'm gonna speak for McShane and Hefe here, because I know that wholeheartedly they are going to be 100% behind this. Even if because in full disclosure, we do have commercials. You all notice the commercials we have on our site.
Right.
Or during our show. So we do get sponsored by somebody. We don't know who that is. We don't endorse any of those people or any of those organizations.
They're just ad injections.
And we don't even know which ones are going to come in. In fact, they're regional. What McShane, when he listens to the show, what he gets is different than what I get listening to the show up here. So we have no input on that. But if it ever came to the point where somebody approached us and said, "Hi, we are X, Y, and Z company, and we are going to, pay all of you a living salary to do this podcast because we believe in what you say, but we want you to back up our product, our stance, our political views." I'm just going to say it. We will never sell our soul. We won't do that because that's not what this show is about. This show is about camaraderie. It's about, trying to think about things in a different way, thinking, period. And it's not about making money or about making sure that we can, influence people in a way that we want. We don't want to influence you. All we want you to do is think about things we're saying. So that is our promise here and now today. If that ever changes, I welcome all of you to call us out on it because I don't want it to change. I know McShane doesn't want it to change, and I know Hefe doesn't want it to change. It's what makes this show different and special. We're not going to sell out to anything. And so, support us in any way you can, but also know that any support that comes in too hot and heavy with one view or the other, we're done. We're not going to include that. We're not part of that.
What if JP Morgan comes in and says, "Hey, Fitz and McShane, we're going to make Whiskey Hellland. We're going to seize some property for somebody who's not using it. Would you guys like to create your own amusement park?"
These fucking guys. God damn it. No, first of all, a Whiskey Hell amusement park would be terrifying. You know it. It would be a bunch of dildos and fucking rapist clowns saying,
"No, there would be no rapist clowns. There would be clowns. There would not be rapey clowns. There'd be sexy clowns.
Well,
there would be
at least one of them would be rapey, and you wouldn't know which one was me. Which one was the rapey one?
God. We had such a pure thing happening.
Did we?
It was going to be our Wally Land. It was going to be our Wally Land it was like
Wally
our Disneyland.
World?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wally World.
Dude, this fucking guy. All right, let's hit the story.
JP Morgan CEO.
Yeah.
Governments should seize private land for wind and solar farms, JP Morgan CEO says. This is the same motherfucker that was brought in court.
Yep.
To discuss being totally cool with Epstein walking around liking young kids.
Yep. Yeah, they used to joke about it in the hallways. Like, "Oh, well, Epstein likes them young." That was one of the jokes that just went around the halls, including this guy. Well, go ahead. Go.
No, continue.
No, all I was going to say is, listen, if we're going to start fucking giving away private land or seizing, he says seizing, private land to put up these solar and wind farms. Let's start with your land, dickhead, and then let's move on to
Bill's
Gates'
land.
Yeah, all of his farmland that he's bought, the 400,000 acres or whatever it is, and then let's go to Bezos and take over his underground fucking nuclear bunkers, whatever they are, and let's tap into some geothermal energy there. I mean, you're talking about seizing private land. Whose private land? Us, the working stiffs, the middle class, and the lower class? Or are you talking about you guys who owned a disproportionately, that's the word I want, disproportionately amount of land that we will never see? I mean, I dream at this point in my life, McShane, I dream that someday I might own 50 acres. And 50 acres is a lot of land. That's a lot to take care of for, two people, a husband and a wife. Maybe some friends come in every once in a while and help you, keep down the weeds and the bramble. That's a lot of land, 50 acres. These people are owning hundreds of thousands of acres. They have staff of people that take care of their land. So can we claim your land? Why does it have to be my 50 acres? Why can't it be your 500,000 acres? But that's not what he's talking about here. Don't make any mistake. He's talking about your land.
So many things about this that are just red flags. First of all, he was like I said earlier, he was actually testifying in the Epstein lawsuit.
Yikes.
Okay, on behalf of JP Morgan.
Yep.
And then this drops. So this is a nice deflection.
Yep.
Secondly, where does it stop? Now, here's a quote from him, and this is from the Telegraph, and I'll drop that in the show notes because this is one we didn't have. The long-standing boss of the Wall Street Titan who donates to the Democratic Party said green energy products must be fast-tracked as the window for averting the most costly impacts of global climate change is closing. No, it's not. In his annual shareholder letter, Mr. Diamond said permitting reforms are desperately needed to allow investment to be done in any kind of timely way. We may not need to invoke eminent domain.
Yeah, see, that's scary right there. That's scary.
Yes. We simply are not getting the adequate investments fast enough for grid, solar, wind, pipeline initiatives. Now, that's not where this stuff, I think it's bullshit. You're going to take away somebody's land. You're going to declare eminent domain for a fucking solar farm. Shut up. That's fucking bullshit. But here's the thing, though. I've got a good sized house. It's my two sons and my wife. At some point, we could possibly get into a housing crisis, which we kind of are now, because there's not a lot of affordable income. What is it to stop somebody from saying, you know what, you need to live in an apartment because it's just you and your wife, and we're going to go ahead and take your house because these 5 people need it and you're only 2.
Yep.
That's where my head went with it.
Yep.
And that's scary as fuck. Because, they'll probably pay you for it. They'll probably pay you like $50,000. If your house costs, if your house is, a $450,000, $500,000, $750,000 house at the way the market is now, you're going to get pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, but
and that's
they have
bullshit.
to pay you. I think they have to pay you market value. We had a friend, a common friend. We'll just call him Derek. You all will know who he is, or those who know, and those who don't worry about it. His parents, they were going to be widening a road that was going right by his parents' house, and they held out. They all their neighbors kind of sold before they did, but finally it was like, hey, we're going to invoke eminent domain, and so they had to pay them. I believe it was what Derek told me was market value plus 20% is what they had to pay them. So the house is worth 300, another 20% on top of that, 60 grand. So that's what they made from it. So it's not like you're going to get completely shit rolled, but the shit of it was they had that 360 grand, they went out to go find another house. And because of the housing market, they really, it was like, fuck you, because this is happening everywhere.
Yeah.
So they had to find a place way out. I mean, I won't say it was Casa Grande, but it was way out. And it was a hardship. It sucked. So that's what happens is like, you do get paid, but then all of the shit, the hardships that come with it, you know, maybe you weren't planning on moving. Maybe you're a fucking hoarder. And now you have to deal with, you know, 25 years of hoarding stuff. Because they'll just bulldoze it. So they don't give a shit. They're just like, hey, we're going to take over this land. And what scares me about this is it seems like a justification for EVs. You know, that somehow, because it's coming out now, people are starting to realize there's not enough power in the grid. I mean, California especially is realizing there's not enough power in the grid for this. So how are we going to make enough power? Well, we'll just seize everybody's property and make them into wind farms and solar farms.
Yep.
Fuck you. What about the chickens that we need to eat, and the beef that we need to eat, and how are we going to grow our food if everything's a fucking solar farm?
You don't need it because you'll eat bugs, first of all.
Yeah.
And we'll come up with some kind of plant-based.
Well, I mean, it'll be bugs. Yeah, I mean, that was part of the NPR story that we didn't get to, which is that, you know, there's this movement out there that, a false statement that the elites want you to eat bugs, and that's just ridiculous. That's false. That was never said. It's been said multiple times on NPR. That was part of our NPR piece, actually, was that they do want us eating bugs as our protein. That has been said multiple times, not just at the WEF, but by actual government and quasi-government organizations saying that the best, cheapest, easiest way for humans to get protein is through crickets and mealworms. They're already doing it in school lunch programs. Kids are already eating bug protein hamburgers. This isn't false. Don't believe what you're seeing out there. It's a real fucking thing. And it's this whole movement to just take what we own, well, what we think we own, and make it theirs, and then just somehow give us sustenance enough that we're going to survive. And we're supposed to be happy with that. That's okay. It's crazy.
Okay, this isn't conspiracy theory stuff. It's not. We're giving you stuff that's in the news.
Yeah, that's all facts.
This is in the news. It's all out there for you.
Yeah.
So please, when you listen to this, don't go, well, you know, these guys are just fucking crazy. Well, okay, you know, you can go and think that. We say some pretty insane shit. We're also fucking around most of the time. But when it comes to the news pieces of this is actually research. It's the stuff that's actually out there. So believe it, don't believe it, read it, make your own decision. That's what we want. That's all we want. But you need to be aware of this kind of stuff, because this business with the bugs, and then you take the wanting to seize property, and then you've got a president who signs over sovereignty, for COVID response.
Well, for any pandemic.
For any pandemic response.
Yep.
It screams New World Order shit. There's no way around it. It's the UN, it's the WHO, it's the WEF. We're being sold out. And when idiots like Diamond here, who I'm not going to say he's a pedophile, but he was totally cool with somebody who is a pedophile on his staff, goes ahead and makes a comment like this, especially with the amount of money that he has, it's kind of fucking concerning.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Exactly.
You know what? I just want to give a shout out to Angel Reese.
Yes, please. Let's do this.
So this ridiculousness, and my fascination with the March Madness is only from a betting perspective. I don't follow basketball or NCAA basketball at all.
No.
But a very, very good game. between Iowa and LSU has taken on a life of its own because Angel Reese gave Caitlin Clark a phenomenal player. She is phenomenal.
Sure.
The business because Caitlin Clark was talking some shit throughout the tournament.
Yep.
Well, Angel Reese pointed to her finger after I think they were down to like a few seconds left on the clock and they're up on like 15 or something. And she pointed to her finger and said, "Hey, I got the ring," right? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that was what was meant by it. And then they did a little bit of John Cena, "you can't see me" kind of stuff. They were going back and forth. Just shit talking. I mean, it's competitive stuff.
Yep.
But what this morphed into was absolute lunacy, especially when the president's wife, First Lady Jill Biden, decides to say, "Can't wait to have LSU come to the White House, but I'm going to talk to Joe. I think Iowa should come too because they were really great." Yeah, going to the White House it's made out to be this big thing, and there's been teams that have not wanted to go because of certain things.
Sure.
But typically teams will go. To give a participation trophy is a little insulting. And Angel Reese comes out and said, "This is just a joke. It's an absolute fucking joke." I mean, she didn't say fucking, but she said it's an absolute joke. I don't know how professional she actually was about it. I think she kind of backtracked a little bit because she might have said some stupid kid stuff. But
yeah, because she
said it's a joke.
I mean,
yeah. And she's in the heat of the moment. All this stuff is heat of the moment type stuff.
Right.
But the fact that the president's wife, FLOTUS, First Lady, wants to give a participation trophy to Iowa, that's insulting. I don't blame her for being a little pissed off about it.
No, and I will just add on top. I'll come right over the top of that with a giant fucking wet dick. The color of these players. So you have Angel Reese and LSU, and I will say I didn't watch a lot of the games. I saw enough of the game to get the vibe. LSU was a team, goal-oriented, all for one for all kind
machine.
Of a thing.
Yeah.
They were a machine.
It was a great team. Yeah.
Whoever the open shooter was, that's who you pass to. It didn't matter the name on their fucking jersey. You pass it to the open shooter. Iowa was all about feeding Caitlin Clark. She's an amazing player.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from her. She scored a lot of fucking points in this tournament, and nobody could stop her. She was kind of like the Michael Jordan of women's NCAA. I mean, she was. You can only hope to contain her. You can't stop her. So Caitlin Clark, the whole way through this tournament, as she's just lights out, is doing this fucking John Cena waving thing in front of people's faces, like, "Hey, you can't even see me, let alone stop me." Yep. Fine. You get to the championship game, and this team of LSU, who are mostly black players, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it, fucking schools you, and is beating you by almost 20 points. And so one of their players comes up to you and does your fucking dumb John Cena bullshit, which I still don't get. I know a lot of NBA players have adopted it. I still don't understand it, but whatever. It's a thing. She does her thing and then points to her ring finger like, "Hey, you're a fucking amazing player, but our team is better than you." Yeah, I got the ring. And you know what? I've said way worse shit on, completely like half-ass amateur flag football games. I've said worse shit. In fact, we just all reminisced about a story earlier this week when one of our friends just batted the ball out of a dude's hands just because we were those kind of guys. It was competitive, and don't fucking bring your bullshit in here. So the fact that she did that, I have no problem with. I'm all in her corner. The fact that Dr. Jill Biden invited a mostly white team from Iowa as a consolation prize to come to the White House and join their defeaters, their conquerors, LSU, who was, oh, by the way, mostly black players, is just, it's like, wait, you're liberal and you're all about,
did that?
and you just did that. It's all about minorities and about, marginalized people. But hey, this player is really great and this team is really great. And even though they lost, let's invite them. No, wrong, bad, Jill. Don't do that. Stupid.
So should Keith Olbermann have called Angel Reese an idiot?
Oh, God. Keith Olbermann, I used to like that dude. I know Hefe's with us. I know Hefe used to like Olbermann too. He has become the biggest giant fuckwad. What happened to him? He's an idiot.
He's a jackass.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
My God. Yeah, so Hefe, how's the night? Did you make your $1,300 yet?
No, I cracked 100 though. So
nice.
1,300.
Nice.
Here we come.
Oh, dude,
Right.
all you have to do is multiply that, and I'm gonna do the math for you. All you have to do is multiply that times 13.
Yep.
Bam. Hey, we decided that your Asian benefactor was trying to get you to go into porn.
Okay.
We can still go that route. It's fine. We can set up a site for you. We got you. We'll get you in the AVN next year.
Yep.
There might be some stuff you're uncomfortable with, but we'll ease you in slowly.
Yeah, well, and you know what? I have a line on some really powerful medicines. So whatever STD you get, we'll take care of that too. Don't just take the money.
Yeah, I've got a beer here that'll take care of you. It'll clean anything out.
Yes, you do.
Hey, so we've got a story that came to us from a lovely listener, Buttercup. I don't know why she was searching this out, but it's a new craze. It's a pseudoscience craze. It's all over the internet now. It's called vabbing. It's wiping. You insert 2 digits, 2 fingers into your vagina. We don't have vaginas, but this is what a female would do. And then you wipe them.
Wait. Can I stop you right there?
You don't have a vagina, do you?
No. But
okay.
Do I insert my fingers?
No. She does.
Oh, she's okay. All right.
She's trying to make herself more attractive.
All right. Hold on. Let me zip up my zipper. Okay. All right.
Good job. Okay.
Carry on.
Yes. So it's more alluring as an alternative perfume. How do you guys feel about that?
Wait, what?
Well, it's
Hold
like
on.
a perfume.
Wait. So wait, you insert your fingers. I don't.
She,
the female, yes.
Yes. Inserts her fingers into her vagina.
And what, dabs it around her neck?
Yeah. She puts it a little bit under her earlobes because that's what women do, and like all across her, maybe a little bit on her neck, right? Any place that you're gonna nuzzle, you're gonna get to smell some of her sweetness.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I would absolutely be a fucking animal for that. Huh. I would go caveman, Neanderthal, fucking pick her up, take her into a cave, and it's on.
So is that because you smelled the pheromones?
Yes.
Or because you watched her do it?
It's because of both. Both. All of it. Yes.
I have this weird vision that I can't get out of my head, and it's like war paint. And she's just putting it all over her face and stuff. Sorry.
Whatever. Put it wherever you want my nose, you put it there.
Hefe, as our most eligible bachelor here, how do you feel about that?
Well, I go against Fitz. My knee jerk is just thinking that's gross. But I'm open to, giving it a shot because, why not? But it just seems weird to take that. It'd be like us wiping our balls and dabbing with it.
Wait, so you don't do that?
I do.
So what's the difference?
So where do you put it though? I mean, do you like put a little bit on do you put it behind your ears, like a little on like across the neckline, right below the Adam's apple, just in case you're out and about?
Actually, no, I just wipe it along the shaft of my cock. I just keep it all down there, but I spread it around.
Okay, but that's not advertising it though. You've got to advertise your shit, man. Come on, that's the whole point.
Yeah, dude,
you've got a cologne. You've got to use your ball gank as cologne.
Yeah, dude, I put on my hands, I put on my forearms, and then so when I go in for the I stretch, but then I put my arm around her. All she's smelling is my skunk.
Paint.
Yeah, my man.
Your musk?
She's smelling my man.
Smell my man.
Yeah, smell my man. And it works every time, dude. I can't even tell you. I am
90% of the time it works every time, or 60% of the time it works
right.
every time.
Yeah, dude. I am like 1 for at least 500 in the last 5 years. It doesn't fail.
Well, it's got to. I mean, the vaping thing. It's got to be working for some people. So why not give it a shot? Right.
So when are they gonna? Here's my question: when are they gonna come out with a? So you guys know the vaping, the vaping pens. When are they gonna come out with a vaginal, odored, scented, vaginal pen?
A vaping pen for
or like the sourdough dude. Like, hey, this vaping pen is the sourdough dude, and then you put it out there. You're smoking the vaping pen, but when you blow it out in her face, she's like, "Oh, do you want to have sex?" Like a pheromone vaping pen. When is that going to happen?
I think it's going to now. We need to develop it.
Are we talking
whiskey hell?
Yeah, there you go.
So if we took each of us have a different scent, I'm sure. We can go ahead and bottle that, and then we can go ahead and use it as we can sell it as vape.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm in. I will absolutely donate my scent. And this is all for scientific, right? I mean, this is all for science.
And so we can make our riches, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's secondary. Of course, all science gets paid.
We gotta get that on the shelves before Flag Day.
What happens on Flag Day? Wait, what are you doing with the flag?
Well, it's just it's right behind Black Friday as far as retail.
Wow.
If I have my number.
How is Black Friday not racist?
It should be now.
Dude, did you guys talk about that Target store being looted in Philadelphia?
Oh my God, that was something, wasn't it? That footage was unbelievable. No,
this shit just happens randomly. I just want somebody to put me on the list so I know when it's happening. And I can go down and show up.
I don't know I don't think we talked about this on the show, but you guys know that all of the Walmarts in the Portland metro area, Portland, Oregon, they're all shut down. They can't sustain. It's not economically sustainable, is what management said. So they shut them all down.
That's insane. That they had to make that.
That's crazy. And why wouldn't you just spend the $30,000 a year to hire a security officer with a fucking gun?
Well, why wouldn't the fucking city take care of the business? That's what blows me away. You could actually put police there. If you're having consistent issues, that could be a deterrent.
Yeah, that's that's Portland for you.
I don't understand that at all. I really don't.
It was like that video I sent you guys earlier tonight about, in the state of New York, if a criminal holds you up at gunpoint, you have to be retreating before you shoot the other person, and you have to be retreating to a certain distance, or you are the wrongdoer. Even though you got held up at gunpoint, if you aren't far enough away and hadn't retreated long enough, you're in the wrong.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's insanity. It's crazy. Because in an actual fist fight, that wouldn't hold in court. Oh yeah, no, you didn't let him hit you 15 times before you hit him back. No, he hit me once, or he even tried to hit me once, and I fucked him up. Done. Court case done. But apparently, with a lethal firearm, you have to be running away before you shoot. I don't know.
Can anybody tell me why freaking John Leguizamo is upset that they didn't put a Latin character in for Mario in the new Mario Brothers movie?
No, this one bothers me because I really like John Leguizamo. He's done some amazing stand-ups just about the Latino cause and history, the actual history of Latin America before the white man got here. And I really respect him as like an intellectual, but this was way, way out of bounds because his argument is that the new Mario Brothers movie, they should have cast a Latino to play one of the, wait for it, to play one of the Italians.
Well, it doesn't help that the two actors they picked was Charlie Day and Chris Pratt.
At least Charlie Day has some Latino. I mean, he is he is not Latino. He is half Italian.
Right.
Charlie Day is.
But I don't think Chris Pratt is, but
no,
he's
he's none. But neither is Leguizamo. He has zero Italian in him.
He's Colombian.
He's Colombian. So why would you think that a Latino? That's like saying I should have gotten the role for fucking, Men in Black and Will Smith's character. No, that dude was black in the comics. What are they called?
You should have played Denzel Washington's character in Glory. That's what go. That's the stretch. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, at what point do we just say, like, let's cast people? It was like that whole thing when Bryan Cranston, he got cast in that role as a paraplegic in that movie, and the paraplegic community went nuts saying you should cast somebody who was already a paraplegic in that role. And it's like, this is called acting for a reason.
It's acting, you assholes.
It's called acting. You can't, but for some reason we need a Latino in an Italian role. And it's a fucking video game. Like, are we taking ourselves way too seriously? I mean,
yes.
First world problems, right?
Oh, it totally is.
I guarantee you no one on the Serengeti is like, I wonder why they didn't cast more Latinos in that movie.
It's not like this is Black Panther.
The comments in there are saying it's a really good movie, like a really good kids movie.
Well, so I will tell you, I went, my wife and I went and saw a movie last night, and by far the biggest showing of people coming to the movies that night were people going to go see the new Mario Brothers movie, and every one of them was dressed up. There was Luigi's, there was the dinosaur. Why can't I remember his name?
Yoshi.
Thank you. There was Yoshi's. There was Mario. There was there was a really very almost disturbingly attractive
Princess Peach.
Oh yeah. She was, good God, this girl, shit. She was cute. She was with like 3 Luigis, which I thought was funny. Yeah. But she was by the way, if you're out there, young lady, well done on your outfit. That was the right amount of breasts for all of us. But anyway, so there was like all these people dressed up as one of the characters for the movie going to the movies. I thought that was fucking awesome. Good for you guys.
I dressed up with a flower pot.
I would dress up as one of the tunnels because I want people inside of me.
That's going on the front of the show. Later.
Oh, shit. All right, man. See you next week.
All
right. Let's go take a break and we'll come back and wrap shit up.
Awesome.
Fitz. We will have to put your Dungeons and Dragons review next week. I'll make sure that I've watched it by that time. So
yeah. I'm actually, not to give any, no spoilers here, but I'm pleasantly surprised by the movie. I can't wait to discuss it with you. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised too. I think we'll have the same sort of. I think we'll have common critiques of the movie, things that they could have done better, but also the fact that it is ripe and ready for a sequel, which I can't wait for. I mean, it was that good. It was really well done. So yeah, that'll be fun next week.
Awesome. Hey, which beer are you taking to bed?
Yeah, I'm going with the stout, wintering, the cozy stout from Kings and Daughters Brewery. Again, my first beer I've had from them, so really great first impression. But the barley wine was great. I have nothing to take away from it. But again, I mean, it just didn't propel me to speak about it in sexual terms. This stout, however, was highly sexual. I am very hot and bothered right now by this beer. And you know what I liked about it? The 7.3%. That's right. I mean, you and I talk about, you can go, session ales, which are, below, I would say 5.5% for us. And then you get up into the 6s and 7s, and there's just kind of a sweet spot where you go, man, this is a nice buzz, but I'm not fucked up. Like I want another one of these. I want maybe 2 more of these. And that's right where this beer is kind of nesting. It's just enough of everything. It's just really good. So I'm definitely taking this one to bed. Nothing wrong with the Breakside Barley Wine, Volume 2. This other beer was it was superior. So how about you? What do you got?
I'm definitely taking Taquero.
Yeah.
The Ales from the Crypts Mexican Mocha Imperial Stout. It's more my jam. It really is. I did like the potential for the theme from the bottom to be a good summer beer. So I'm intrigued by that. So I'm interested in what else they've got to do.
Yeah.
And again, I think it broke the peanut taste was subtle enough that I enjoyed it. So I did like that. But the Imperial Stout here, it's just, I might be a homer, but honestly, this was just a shovel to the face at first. It's mellowed out. It is a nice beer. Still boozy as hell, though. But I'm taking this one to bed, and it's going to do some terrible things to me, I think, but I'm okay with that.
Brass knuckles to the butthole. Here we come. No, I'm actually, I'm really intrigued by that beer. Like I said, I would love, that's right in my wheelhouse. I'd love to have that just to compare it to the other Mexican hot chocolates I've had. So, but I'm glad you enjoyed the from the bottom. It was worth sending it to you and kind of sharing some of what we get up here that you'll never get down there. So, fun stuff. I still think, and this is an open sort of invite to all of our other podcasting friends out there who drink. I'm speaking mostly to Gray's Tap Room, but not only you guys, but it would be fun to set up like a beer exchange, because I'm sure you guys are getting stuff in Louisville that we can't get out here, and likewise. So it'd be fun to kind of set up just sort of a beer exchange. It's not cheap to send beer, but and it's also actually illegal, but we have a workaround around that. So
yeah, don't do it.
No, don't. No, you can't send beer via mail. You can't. No, you can't do it. But still, we should talk. So hit us up, any and all of you out there who want to do a beer exchange. And I'm willing to do a 1-for-1. I don't care if my beer costs $15 for a 4-pack and yours only costs $7 for a 4-pack. I'm not that's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about trying some new stuff that you might get where I can't get it. So if we want to set that up, I think that'd be a lot of fun. It'd be a really cool sort of segment of the show. Like, hey, we got this straight from our friends at, Gray's Tap Room, or I Had to Say It, or whoever. And we just sort of review that. So that'd be a lot of fun. So let's think about that in the future.
Totally on board. Again, hats off to I Had to Say It podcast. Thank you so much for the support. Welcome to the Hall of Champions.
Amen.
If you guys want to follow us, it's whiskeyhellpod.com. That's the website. You guys can go to whiskey_hell. That is us on Twitter. whiskeyhellpod@gmail.com is going to be the email address. We appreciate the support. Thank you for working with us throughout the week, finding the articles that we can go ahead and bring up on the show.
Yes.
Porn Stash, I'm looking at you. Bold Talk with Joe, I'm looking at you too.
Yes.
Fantastic stuff, guys. Seriously, keep it coming. And all this is that we're all aware. We're all engaged, and we're all in part of the process. I am Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz. Love you all.
We'll talk to you soon.